38 seconds, that's all it took. Two massive earthquakes, one after the other, flattened parts of Venezuela. Nearly 2 weeks later, thousands are dead, tens of thousands are homeless, and entire neighborhoods have vanished. It is ground zero. Nearly 2 weeks after twin powerful earthquakes devastated Venezuela, the country's humanitarian crisis continues to deepen, even as authorities expand rescue efforts and international assistance begins to arrive. Two major earthquakes measuring 7.2 and 7.5 struck just 38 seconds apart near the town of Yumare, west of Caracas, on June 24th. According to the US Geological Survey, the second quake, which struck at a shallow depth of just 10 kilometers, triggered catastrophic destruction across the capital, the coastal state of La Guaira, and several other regions. The latest figures released by Venezuela's Ministry of Communication show the death toll has risen to 3,535, while approximately 16,740 people have been injured and more than 17,854 left homeless. Satellite analysis by the European Space Agency, using Sentinel-1 imagery, suggests that nearly 80% of buildings, around 58,870 structures, in the affected region may have been damaged or destroyed. Experts caution that the assessment is based on satellite-detected surface changes and has yet to be fully verified on the ground. The destruction forced the closure of Venezuela's main international airport after it suffered significant structural damage, while videos verified by international media showed entire buildings, including a 10-story hotel in La Guaira, collapsing into rubble. NASA told BBC Mundo that for this assessment, the study's authors define damage as a change in a building's condition compared with its state before the earthquakes. However, they warn that the map is an indicator of damage based on abrupt surface changes consistent with damage, rather than a building-by-building verification, because the data have not been verified on the ground. It's not just the magnitude of the earthquake that has a bearing on its destructive power, but how close to the surface it occurs, as well as the size of the nearby population and the quality of the buildings in the area. Venezuela lies along the boundary between the Caribbean and South American tectonic plates, which are moving past one another. The USGS says the sudden release of friction between these two plates is likely to have triggered the earthquakes. Meanwhile, on July 6th, Interim President Delcy Rodriguez met US Southern Command Chief Admiral Francis Donovan in Caracas to coordinate rescue operations, humanitarian aid, and reconstruction efforts. The US delegation also included Charge d'Affaires John Barrett and Major General Kevin Jarrard, who is overseeing American rescue and recovery teams operating in the disaster zone. As criticism mounted over the pace of the government's response, a day earlier, Rodriguez announced the creation of a dedicated military disaster response force during Venezuela's Independence Day ceremony.
I have instructed the Ministry of Defense to create a special emergency task force to respond to disasters of this nature, which will be named after Grand Marshal of Ayacucho, Antonio José de Sucre.
Rodriguez also defended her government's handling of the disaster, saying the deployment of the armed forces had been ordered directly from the presidency.
Recently, a journalist asked me who had given the order to deploy the Bolivarian National Armed Forces in La Guaira and at the disaster sites. I gave that order as Commander-in-Chief of our Bolivarian National Armed Forces. When I took the oath of office, I said, I take the baton of command and hand it over to the Venezuelan people so that it may go where the people need it most. I gave the order, and I take full responsibility alongside our Bolivarian National Armed Forces, who are there on the ground, embracing the family members who are waiting to recover their loved ones from beneath the rubble of silence.
The rare cooperation between Washington and Caracas comes as emergency crews continue searching through collapsed buildings, with thousands of survivors still relying on temporary shelters while authorities race to rebuild one of Venezuela's worst natural disasters in recent history.
E que acontece há algumas horas, né? Já desde ontem as equipes estão trabalhando. Auxiliando nesses resgates. Ele ontem disse que ouviu sinais vitais. Tentando manter o ânimo para tentar resgatar.
O caminhão das ferramentas da equipa portuguesa.
Não sei se estava todo limpo ou não. Pois isto aqui. Se eu dentro deste lado sempre entender alguma coisa disto.
Pero nadie quiere apoyar.
¿Y por qué yo apoyé? Yo trabajé 4 años en una mina y los túneles, las minas son 30, 40 metros para abajo de la tierra.
Si me necesitas, tía Caferón.
Papá, pero si cortan el radio, necesito que...
Aquí, marico, todavía llamo así, ya voy a poder pasar. ¿Cómo así? No entiendo.
Ha ha ha!